Hello friends, this is Hasiba. Welcome to today's session on event scheduling algorithm. In the previous session, we have discussed about what are the different concepts in discrete event simulation, what is event scheduling algorithm, and also about the flowchart of arrival event and departure event, and the type 1 problem under event scheduling algorithm, that is to calculate the busy time of the server and maximum queue length. Right? So in today's session, we'll be discussing about the next type, where we will have to calculate the number of departures, the mean proportion of customers who have spent some amount of time in the system, right? And also the average response time, right? So the second type of problem under event scheduling algorithm is called as checkout line simulation. Consider a grocery store with one checkout counter. The inter-arrival time and service time are given in the table. Perform the simulation until the clock time is 23 using event scheduling algorithm, right? So directly they will specify you what you have to do, right? So find the mean response time. So mean response time is nothing but the average response time and the mean proportion of customers who spend 5 or more minutes in the system, right? So whenever they ask you to find the mean response time and the mean proportion of customers, right? So at that time you have to go for type 2 problem of event scheduling algorithm, which is by using checkout line simulation. First, let us see about what are the different formulas used to find the average response time. So average response time formula is given by S divided by ND, right? Where S is nothing but the total response time divided by ND. ND is nothing but number of departures. Next, average proportion of customers who have spent some amount of time, right? It can be 5 or more minutes, it can be 4 or more minutes, or it can be 3 or more minutes, right? So depending on the question, you have to calculate, right? So average proportion of customers who spend 5 or more minutes, it is equal to F by ND. You have to remember two formulas here. One formula for response time is S divided by ND, and the formula for mean proportion of customers is F divided by ND. F is nothing but the total number of customers who have spent 5 or more minutes, right? And ND is the number of departures. The IAT and ST are given in the table, right? So just count the number of service time, you will come to know the number of customers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So 8 customers are there. So what is the response time? Response time is nothing but the time difference between the departure time and the arrival time. That means response time is nothing but how much time that particular customer has spent in the system, right? So how much time is nothing but the difference between, right? So say for example, he comes at 0 and he leaves at 5, right? So arrival time is 0 and departure time is 5. That means that 5 minus 0 we have to calculate in order to find the mean response time or the average response time. So coming to the solution, first you have to create a table, right? So that we can form the event notices, right? So write the customer column. So how many customers? 8 customers, because we have 8 service time here. Count the service time, it is 8, right? So that is why number of customers is 8, right? So write down the inter-arrival time as it is given in the table, right? So write the column for inter-arrival time. Now arrival time, time service begins, service time, and time service ends, right? So service time also copy the same values whatever are given in the question, right? So coming to the arrival time, we know that for the first customer always the arrival time is 0, right? So for the second customer, how do you write? Just add the inter-arrival time of the second customer to the previous arrival time, right? So 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 6 8, 8 plus 3 11, 11 plus 7 18, 18 plus 5 23, 23 plus 2 25, right? So like that we will be writing the arrival time, right? So next we have the time service begins, right? So when the time service will begin, the first customer comes at arrival time is 0, right? So service will begin at 0. What is the service time? Service time is 4 minutes, right? So that means he needs a 4 minutes service by the server, right? So departure time will be, arrival is 0, service time is 4, so departure time will be 0 plus 4, which is 4, right? So for the next one, service begins. What is the arrival time? Arrival time is 1, right? So but when the customer server will be free, the server will be free at 4 only, right? So even though he comes at 1, he has to wait for 3 minutes. Here we are not taking any waiting time, right? So just directly take the departure time, whatever it is, right? So write the departure time, right? So because that is the time when the server will be free, right? So 4 plus 2 I will get 6. Next see the arrival time, it is lesser. Server is free at 6 means service will begin at 6 only. So 6 plus 5 is 11, right? So next see the arrival time, it is 8, right? But server is free at 11, so it will begin at 11 only. So 11 plus 4 is 15, right? The same way 15 plus 1 16. So here the server will end at 16, right? But the arrival time is at 18. That means the server is idle for 2 minutes here, right? So we start at 18, 18 plus 5, 23. Next is 23 plus 4, 27. Next 27, right? So the customer has to wait here for 2 minutes. 27 plus 1, 28, right? So like this, first we will prepare one sample table, right? So that it will be easy for us to write the event notices, right? So now we will write the event notice. How to write the event notice for customer 1? What is the arrival? Arrival is 0. Departure is 4, right? So I'll write A comma 0, D comma 4. Second customer arrival is 1, so A comma 1, D comma 6, A comma 2, D comma 11, A comma 8, D comma 15, A comma 11, D comma 16, A comma 18, D comma 23, right? A comma 23, D comma 27, A comma 25, D comma 28, right? So like this, we will be writing by looking at the columns of the arrival time and the departure time. You have to see these columns, arrival time and departure time, and the combination you have to write for every customer. A for arrival time, D for departure time, right? So these are the different event notices. Now we have to construct the simulation table, right? So for the construction of the simulation table here, same columns like the previous problem, we'll have the clock, right? So we will have LQ of T, LS of T, this is load queue, load server, right? So there we had FEL and comments. Here we will have checkout line followed by FEL, right? So checkout line, future event list. Then we have cumulative statistics. What we have to find here, we have to find the average response time and the mean proportion of customers who have spent 5 or more minutes, right? So in order to do that, the cumulative statistics variables are S, ND and F, right? Then finally I have added one more column which is called as illustration, right? So coming to the first one, first step, initially clock will be 0, right? So immediately after you write the clock, you have to directly come to illustration. At clock 0, what happens? First customer arrives, right? So how do you write first customer arrives? Dash box C1 dash, right? So whatever I write towards the left hand side, that means it is the queue. If I write something towards the right hand side, that means the customer has a departure from the system. If whatever I write inside, that means the customer is there with the server, right? So like this, we write this illustration. So I will come here, clock is 0, right? So what happened at 0? First customer came, right? So first customer came, right? So server was free, right? So that particular customer is assigned to the server. Now I will write the status of the queue. What is there at the left hand side? Nothing is there, so 0. Who is there with the server, right? Some customer is there with the server, that means server is busy, so I will write the status as 1. What is the checkout line? Checkout line tells that what happened now. What happened? First customer came, right, at a 0, so I will write it as C1 comma 0, right? So C1 comma 0 means customer 1 came at a 0. Like that, you have to write this checkout line based on the arrival times, right? So what type of event it is? It is an arrival event. So if it is an arrival, I have to schedule the next arrival and next departure, right? So go back to your event notice, strike out A comma 0 because this occurred. What is the next arrival and next departure? The first departure is D comma 4, next arrival is A comma 1, right? So I have to write A comma 1, D comma 4, right? And in the question, they have told that you have to run the simulation till the clock time reaches 23, till the clock time is 23, right? So that is why I write here A comma 1, D comma 4, E comma 23, right? So initially the response time will be 0, ND will be 0, F is 0, right? So everything will be 0 initially. When you will update this, you will update the response time and F, right? So S and F only when there is a departure. Only when there is a departure, then only we should go and update these two columns. Otherwise, you have to keep on writing it as 0 only, right? So after doing this, what do? You have to remove the imminent event from the list, right? So remove the imminent event from the list and advance the clock from T to T1, right? So 0 to 1, right? So what type of event it is? It is arrival event, arrival of 1, right? So arrival at 1, arrival at 1, who is coming at 1? Customer 2 is coming, right? So when the first customer will go, first customer will go at 4, right? So second customer has arrived. So immediately as soon as you write the clock, you have to come and write the illustration. C1 is there in the system, C2 has come now, right? So that is arrival of the second customer. How many people are there in the queue? One person is there in the queue. Server is busy. Yes, the server is busy. What is the checkout line? Checkout line is C1 comma 0 was there. Who came and joined? C2 comma 1 came and joined, right? So what type of event it is? It is an arrival. I have to schedule the next arrival and departure, right? So next arrival is A comma 2. Already departure is there, so we'll write as it is. A comma 2, D comma 4, E comma 23. Always remember, in FEL there will be one arrival, one departure, and one end of the simulation. Only 3 values should be there, or 3 states should be there, right? So since there is no departure, these values will be 0, 0, 0. Next, remove the imminent event from the list. So I'll remove imminent event, right? So advance the clock from T to T1. What is the time? Time is 2, so it is 2. What happened? Arrival comma 2. So A comma 2 means what? A comma 2 means the third customer has arrived, right? So second customer had arrived. Now the third customer has arrived. So I will write it as C1, C2, C3. He has to wait in the queue, right? So I will come here. How many people are there in the queue? 2 people are there in the queue. So I will write 2 here. What about the status of the server? Server is busy, right? So checkout line is C1 comma 0. C2 comma 1 was there. Now who came? Third customer came at 2, right? So C3 comma 2, right? What type of event? Arrival event. So if it is arrival, I have to schedule the next arrival and departure. Departure is there, right? So what is the next arrival? Next arrival is A comma 8, right? So strike out A comma 8, right? So then you have to write here in ascending order, right? So D comma 4, A comma 8, E comma 23. Still you will write 0, 0, 0. You'll be updating only when there is a departure, right? So otherwise it will be 0, 0, 0. Now we have a departure event, right? So remove the imminent event from the list, advance the clock from T to T1, right? So I will remove the event. So my clock will become 4 now. What type of event it is? It is a departure event. Who is departing? The first customer is departing, right? So as soon as you write the clock, directly go to illustration. First customer will move out. So if the first customer moves out, then what we have to do? The second customer will go and sit with the server, and third customer is waiting in the queue, right? So once you write this, now come and update the LQ of T. How many people in the queue? One person. How many with the server? One person. What is the checkout line? Checkout line is first customer went off, right? So you have to remove that. So who is there in the line now? Only C2 comma 1 and C3 comma 2, right? So when the customer departs, right, so you have to remove him from the checkout line also, right? So I will remove him from the checkout line. I will get C2 comma 1 and C3 comma 2, right? So what type of event it is? It is a departure event, right? So whenever you have departure event, you have to schedule the next departure as per event scheduling algorithm, right? So D comma 4 was over, so strike out. Now you have to do D comma 6, right? So D comma 6 you will write. So you will get D comma 6, A comma 8, E comma 23, right? So now come to the statistics, right? So since one person has departed, right? So I will write it as 1. Number of departures is 1, right? So now response time. Response time is nothing but what? It is nothing but the departure time minus arrival time. What is the departure time of the customer? Departure time is 4. When did he arrive? He arrived at 0. So 4 minus 0 is how much? 4 minus 0 is equal to 4, right? So I will write 4 here. Then I will check, has he spent 5 or more minutes? No, right? So if it was 5, then you would have added here 1, right? So if at all the question was asked for as in whether the customer has spent 4 or more minutes, then you have to update it as 1 here, right? But since this is the question is for 5 or more minutes, right? So here still it will be 0. F is 0, right? So next again continue the same procedure. Remove the imminent event from the list, advance the clock from T to T1. So 4 to 6. Again, what type of event? It is a departure event, right? So departure means second customer moves out. So if second customer moves out, who will go and sit with the server? C3 will go and sit with the server, right? So if it is a departure event, what I have to schedule? I have to schedule the next departure. So next departure is at D comma 11, right? So I will write it in ascending order. I comma 8, D comma 11, E comma 23. Who is there with the queue? Nobody is there, so write 0. Who is there with the server? Somebody is there, so server is busy, right? Then what happened? Second customer went out, right? So who is there in the line? Only the third customer is there. So C3 comma 2 is there, right? So A comma 8, D comma 11, E comma 23. You will write it in ascending order. Now it is a departure event. So if it is a departure event, number of departures you have to add, right? So one who had gone, first customer had gone, now second customer also has gone. So 1 plus 1, number of departure is 2. Every time you have to add to the previous value, right? So 1 plus 1, you will get it as 2. Now calculate the response time. What is the response time? Response time of the second customer is arrival time minus the departure time. So departure is at 6. What is the arrival time? So arrival time is he came at 1, right? So arrival time of second customer is at 1 and departure is at 6. So 6 minus 1 is how much? 5. So 5 is the response time of the second customer, right? So this 5 you have to add to the previous value. So 5 plus 4 is a 9, right? So I will get here the total response time as a 9, right? So here we can see that 6 minus 1 is 5. So 5 means he has spent 5 or more minutes. That means one person I got who has spent 5 or more minutes. So write one value for the F column, right? So because F is nothing but the mean proportion of customer who have spent 5 or more minutes, right? So since it is 5 or more minutes, I will write it as 1. If at all, if it was 3 or more minutes or 4 or more minutes, then you have to do it accordingly, right? So next what we do, remove the imminent event from the list, advance the clock from T to T1, right? So I will remove 8, A comma 8, so who has come? One more customer has come, right? So next customer has come, so C4, C3. What about the queue status? It is 1, server is busy, right? So C3 comma 2 was there, I will write C4 comma 8, right? So what type of event it is? Arrival event. So I have to schedule the next arrival. What is the next arrival? After D comma 11, I have A comma A. After A comma 8, I have A comma 11, right? So I will get it as a D comma 11, which was already there. You have to write first A comma 11, E comma 23, right? So when you get to values, right, which are same, then you have to write the one which was already existing as the first one in your FEL, right? So D comma 11, A comma 11, E comma 23, right? So now, is it a departure event? No, it is an arrival event, right? So whatever is the previous values, the same thing, you have to write it as it is, 9 to 1, right? So again, remove the imminent event from the list, right? Advance the clock from T to T1. So here departure is also happening, arrival is also happening, right? So departure of 11, right? So that means third customer is moving out and arrival of the fifth customer, right? So write your illustration, third customer move it out, C4 will go and sit with the server, C5 has come, right? So how many of their people are there in the queue? One person is there. How many with the server? One with the server. So what is this? This is nothing but your but your checkout line, right? So who is there in the line now? C4 comma 8 was there, right? So now C5 has come at 11. So C5 comma 11. So since arrival and departure has both occurred, right? So both are gone. Only E comma 23 is there. So I have to write the next arrival and next departure. What is the next arrival? Next arrival is A comma 18. Next departure is D comma 15, right? So D comma 15 I will write first. A comma 18, E comma 23, right? So now what happened here? Departure has occurred, right? So third customer has moved on. So I will increment my number of departures. I will write 3, right? So 3 means totally 3 customers have departed now. Customer 1 went, customer 2 went, now customer 3 has gone, right? So now you have to calculate the response time. Response time of third customer. When did the third customer go? The third customer went out at 11. When did he come? Third customer came at 2, right? So third customer came at what is the arrival time of the third customer, right? Arrival time of the third customer is 2, right? So arrival at 2 and departure at 11. So 11 minus 2 is how much? 11 minus 2 is 9, right? So 9 plus 9 is 18, right? So you will add it to the previous value, you will get it as 18, right? So now you have to check whether this response time 9 is more than 5. Yes, it is more than 5. So I will add 1 to the previous value. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, right? So like this, we have to continue the problem. Again, departure 15, right? So who is moving out? Fourth customer is moving out, right? So if the fourth customer moves out, C5 will go and sit in the system. What is the status of the queue? Nobody is there, so 0. What about the status of the server? Server is busy. Who is there in the line now? C4 comma 8 has moved out, so I have only C5 comma 11. Right, so what type of event it is? A departure, right? So if it is a departure, I have to add the number of departures, so I'll get 4, right? So I have to calculate the response time, right? So what is the arrival time of the fourth customer? Fourth customer came at 8, right? And he went out at 15, right? So 15 minus 8 is 7, right? So add this 7 value to 18. So 18 plus 7, you will get 25, right? And check out this 7, it is more than 5. So increment your F, right? So next again, since it is a departure event, you have to schedule the next departure. So after D comma 15, what is the next departure? D comma 16, right? So you will write it as D comma 16, A comma 18, E comma 23, right? So next again, remove the imminent event from the list. We removed 16, right? So again, it is a departure event. So what happened? Fifth the customer moves out, right? So nobody is there. So what is the status of the queue? Queue it is 0, right? Server is also 0. Nobody is there in the checkout line. So checkout line becomes a dash, right? So since it is a departure event, I have to schedule the next departure. After D comma 16, what I have D comma 23, right? So I will write D comma 23, right? But before writing D comma 23, you have to write E comma 23 because that is the next one, right? So E comma E comma 23, D comma 23, and A comma 18, right? So like this you have to write. So one more departure, so 5, right? So again calculate the response time, same thing, departure time minus the arrival time, right? So 16 minus 11, when the fifth customer came at 11, right? And he went out at 16. So 16 minus 11 is 5. So add that 5 to this value, 25 plus 5 will get it as 30, right? So it is 5 or more minutes, so increment your F. Again, remove the imminent event from the list. So A comma 18 arrival event. So schedule the next arrival and departure. Departure is already there. So schedule the arrival, right? So once you schedule the arrival, You will come here, right? So who has come? Sixth customer has come, right? So anybody is there in the queue? Nobody is there in the queue. Status of the server, server is busy. Sixth customer has come, so C6 comma 18, right? So once again, what you will do, you will maintain the same thing because there is no departure, right? So next is the last one. You have D comma 23, A comma 23, and E comma 23, right? So all of them you can do it together, right? So at 23, what is happening? At 23, there is a departure and arrival also, right? So that is why we have done first that departure and arrival we have done. Since it is a departure, right? So one more customer will get add, right? So sixth customer has went out, and then I have to check the response time of the sixth customer, right? Arrival at 18, departure at 23. So 23 minus 18 means I will get 5. So one more I will get the value for my mean response time, right? So 23 minus 18 is 5. So 30 plus 5 I will get it as 35, 6 and 5. You have to execute this because here I have at 23. It is not only end of the simulation, it is departure, arrival and end. So you have to execute this event, departure and arrival event, right? So then write the step, then finally you have to end the simulation, right? I repeat, since I have the same time, at the same time I have departure, arrival and end of the simulation, I have to do departure, I have to do arrival, and then only I have to go for end of the simulation, right? So final values of your response time is 35, your number of departures is 6, and your F value is 5. So average response time formula is S by ND. So 35 by 6, those number of minutes you will get. Mean proportion of customers who have spent 5 or more minutes, formula is F by ND, right? So 5 by 6, you will get the value as 0.83, right? So this is how you have to solve the problem on type 2 event scheduling algorithm, which is to calculate the average response time and mean proportion. The next topic is dump truck problem, right? So the concept of dump truck problem is very simple and it is very, very important. Sometimes they will ask you explain dump truck problem, right? So if at all they ask you explain dump truck problem, you have to explain like this, right? So in a dump truck problem, how many trucks are there, right? So we are imagining that there are 6 dump trucks which are empty, right? And in my dump truck problem, there are 2 loaders, right? So this is how the scenario is. There are 2 loaders for loading the dump truck, right? So we have 6 dump trucks are used to haul coal from the entrance of a small mine to the railroad, right? So 6 trucks are used to carry the coal from the entrance of mine to the railroad. Each truck is loaded by one of the 2 loaders, right? So we have 2 loaders in our dump truck problem, and there is only one scale, right? So each of these 2 loaders are used to load the coal, right? So you will load the coal, right? So once you are loaded to the coal, what happens? The truck after getting loaded by one of the 2 loaders, right, it immediately moves to the scale to be weighed as soon as possible, right? And from the loader, the truck will go to the scale. Now both the loaders and the scale follow first come first serve queue for the trucks, right? Both the loaders and the scale, they follow FCFS, that is first come first serve queue, right? So the travel time from the loader to scale is negligible. We don't have any travel time here, right? So immediately after loading, the next moment only scale is there. There is no travel time here, right? So travel time for the loader to the scale is negligible. After being weighed, the truck begins a travel time, right? After getting weighed on the scale, the truck starts its travel time, during which the truck unloads and returns to the loader queue, right? So after from the scale, the truck will come here, right? So the truck will start moving, right? So here we have the travel time because it goes there, it unloads the coal onto the rail, right? So once again it will come back and it will join the loader queue, right? So the purpose of simulation is to estimate the loader and scale utilization. Why we are doing dump truck problem? We are doing dump truck problem in order to estimate how much loader is utilized and how much scale is utilized, right? So this model has the following components. What is the first component in my dump truck problem? The first component is system state, right? So system state is means what? Collection of variables which describe the values at a given point of time. What are the different variables we have here? We have LQ of T. LQ of T means number of trucks at the loader queue, right? L of T. L of T means number of trucks being loaded. WQ of T means number of trucks in the way queue, right? So we have a queue here, loader queue for number of trucks in the loader queue. L of T means number of trucks being loaded. WQ of T means number of trucks in the way queue. W of T means number of trucks being weighed, right? So all have to be done at a simulation time T. That is the first component. Second is entities. What are my entities here? We have 6 dump trucks, right? So this dump truck problem itself is defined as a 6 dump truck problem, right? So that is why I will write it as a DT1, DT2, so on up to DT6, right? So then we have something called as event notices. Here we'll be writing 3 types of event notice. The first one is ALQ. ALQ stands for arrival at loader queue. Next is EL. EL stands for end load. EW stands for end way. Right? ALQ, T, DTI. That means dump truck I arrives at a loader queue at a time T. Dump truck I arrives at a loader queue at a time T. Right? So EL, T, DTI means dump truck I ends loading at a time T. Right? So EL, T, DTI means dump truck I ends loading at time T. EW, T, DTI means dump truck I ends weighing at a time T. Right? So like this, we will be writing the 3 event notice. So EL stands for end load, ALQ stands for arrival at loader queue, EW stands for end weigh. This is WEIGH. Right? So weigh. Weigh is nothing but weight, right? So next we have the fourth component, which is list, right? There are two types of list we are maintaining here, loader queue and weigh queue, right? So loader queue talks about the list of all the trucks which are waiting to be loaded, right? So the set of all the trucks which are waiting to be loaded is loader queue, right? Next we have weigh queue, and it's the list of all the trucks which are waiting to be weighed, right? So weigh queue will have all the trucks which are waiting to be weighed. Next I have activities. So activities are loading time, weighing time, and travel time. Right? So activities are given as loading time, weighing time, and travel time. Next we have delay, right? So there are basically two delays, delay at the loader queue and delay at the scale. Right? So these are the four components, right? So in my dump truck problem, what we have to find? We have to find the busy time of the loader and busy time of the scale, right? So to find the busy time of each loader, busy time of the loader is given by BL and busy time of the scale is given by BS, right? So BL will have the busy time of both the loaders. If they ask you to find busy time of each loader, then you have to take BL divided by 2. And average loader utilization will be equal to BL divided by 2 whole divided by TE. TE is nothing but end of the simulation or runtime simulation. They will ask you to do the simulation for so and so minutes, right? So that is the total time TE. Next we have average scale utilization. Average scale utilization formula is BS divided by TE, right? So sometimes they will give the initial condition as 2 trucks are there at the loader, right? And 1 truck on the weigh queue, right? So or 4 trucks at the loader, 3 at the weigh queue, like that, right? So based on the condition, we have to write our initial step. So in the next session, let us discuss about how to solve the dump truck problem. Thank you.